Hi guys, thank you for joining. This is Dark Dragon. For today's video, we are going to be doing a dual booting on the Legion Go 2. We're going to have Windows, as you can see here, and also SteamOS, but we're going to be using Bazzite as the main operation system for SteamOS. And that is because Valve SteamOS do not want to play nice to convert the drive into a specific format that both operation system can use to talk to each other. What we're gonna do, we're gonna put an 8 terabyte here, and now we're gonna break the 8 terabyte into 3 specific partition: one for Bazzite, one for Windows, and a shareable drive. A partition they're gonna be able to be shared between both. Let me show you real quick. Here, if you go to settings, and then we are gonna go to storage. You can actually see here, this is just one drive. This is the partition for Bazzite. This is the partition, the shareable drive for both. And Windows has its own partition, and of course you're gonna be able to see this. And whatever you do in this specific partition, both of them can see. If I tap here, you see I already have a couple of games already installed there, and this one is on the SteamOS part of it. If you have a game installed here, Windows not gonna see it. Only gonna see it if you have it on this one. All right. Let me jump to Windows so you can also see that the drive is already visible there, and we'll be right back. Oh, and from here, so I also did this. This is the cool part. If you're in Bazzite or in SteamOS and you wanna jump to Windows, you basically tap this, and this will load you up to Windows. All right, now we're in Windows. As you can see the little icon there for the fingerprint, so that works. So let's log in into the desktop, and I'm going to show you the drive on the desktop. All right, now that we are here in Windows on the desktop, let's go ahead and hit this PC so you can kind of see this. And you can see here, that's the Windows partition, and that's the shareable drive. So what you could do, you could take a different route. You could make the partition as small as possible. You can do maybe 512 for Windows, and maybe 100 gigs or even 256 gigs for Bazzite. And then just don't install nothing, only updates on the window partition and the Bazzite partition, and then all the games always go to the shareable drive. You could make this a lot bigger if you wanted to, and the other one and the operation system a lot smaller. What you're gonna need to have to start this off, I recommend to have a dock. Also, I recommend to have a mouse and keyboard, have tools to be able to open this. So I'm gonna put a link for this specific tools that I have here: a enclosure for your SSD, a 16 gig USB-C, either USB, regular USB, or USB-C. This is a dual one. So, and again, I'm going to put the link for everything I have here that I'm using, and a good data transfer cable. This is a 40 gig AK. And also I'll have this here. This is an electric screwdriver that I'm going to be using. It has all the tools for stuff like this. I will put in the link, and again, for everything that I'm using on the description below, so you can kind of look into it, and if you want to buy them, you can buy them. All right, no further ado, let's go ahead and start.
All right, guys, so we are here on the desktop. So the first thing we need to do is go to Bazzite. So we can go ahead and download Bazzite OS. So we can go ahead and install it. And the second one is going to be Rufus. I will be putting the link on the screen for both sites. So this way you can go download it. Also, it will be on the description below. But for Bazzite, when you arrive, just go here and hit download. And as soon as you arrive here, you're going to have a couple of options. You will need to click on this, and you will need to pick your hardware. So we're doing the Legion Go 2. As you can see here, the Go 2, and Go S. So select that. And this is going to be your environment, basically your desktop environment, what you want. If you want to set up Windows experience, or do you want the SteamOS desktop? So we want the SteamOS in this case. We click on that and just hit the download. Don't do this one, just do this one. This is the latest one. You click on this and you just download it. For Rufus, it will be basically similar, but a lot quicker. We just basically need to select the one that says P here. So portable. This is going to be a simple and small application. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and jump into my download folder. so we can go ahead and start setting this up. So let's go ahead and open my download folder. All right, so here we go. As you can see, I have SteamOS already here, but for Rufus, we are gonna double click this, say yes. All right, so it's already open. Put this on the side here. And as you can see, he already selected my flash drive, the 16 gigs. So we're gonna do select, and already automatically went to my download. So if it's not, then just basically click on download folder. Oops, sorry, download folder, and then select your Bazzite. When you select it, select open, do okay, yes, it's gonna delete everything in there, and then you should start. Yes, we're aware of that. And just let it finish. All right, guys, now our drive is all done. So what we can do from here is pretty much close. And we can, if you're doing this on your Legion Go, just turn it off. And now the next step will be taking the Legion Go apart so we can put the new drive in and start the format, the new installation for the drive. All right, let's go to the next step.
All right, so now we are gonna go ahead and take the back plate off so we can go ahead and upgrade the SSD. So we're gonna do this a couple of times. So I'm gonna give some pointers here. All right, so we take the remote controls off, and I have a couple of tools here. So I'm gonna use this electric one to take the screws off. I do recommend to have a spot where you can put those screws on. I like to put them in order, in the same order they come out, the same order I'm gonna put them in here. So there's three here, and then 2 more right here. On the inside, you're gonna see 2 on one side here and there, and then 1 more on this corner. And then will be the one for the SSD. But let's go ahead and start right here on this top. Okay, try to be very careful with the screws because that's really small. Unfortunately, I cannot really tell you exactly the size of this. I'm not that technical. But I actually have all the tools for all this stuff because I've been doing it for years. When I was a kid, my grandfather used to be, he used to work for so many buildings, their TVs and remote control devices and stuff like that. So he taught me all this stuff, how to take all this stuff apart, understand the mechanics, how to make sure that things work and don't work, and how to do this carefully like a surgeon. So we're gonna need this thing. We're gonna start here in the middle, in here. So you're gonna put this here, and you're gonna lift up, and you're gonna twist, do like a stab in, up, and twist. So twist this way. You see it's almost coming out. There we go. Simple. Put this on the side. And this is where 4 more screws gonna be. 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and then the SSD. So let's start actually with the battery. Let's unplug the battery. So I use this because it's kind of hard to push this out. So you use this, and on the side, let me bring this up here. On the side here, it's easy to just lift up, and then you're done. Make it easy so you don't have to struggle pulling this thing and put too much force on it. Then we have another one. This one is for the fan, but let's go ahead and move the batteries out. Grab the battery, put it out of the side. That's gonna be easy. Look, there's nothing here. The motherboard is right in the middle. All right, so now this comes up, but you don't do much, just flip it this way. And that is the SSD that come in. So that's a 2240. And it has this little sticky thing here. So for this one, I use this. So this right here is not easy to take out. It's very sticky. It's a double-sided tape. So just kind of push. There we go. Sometimes you may feel like you're gonna break it, but don't worry about it. We're not gonna need this anymore. I'm gonna put this on the side, but we're gonna keep the screw right here. Okay, answers these out. And let's go ahead and put the new one. Here's the 8 terabyte, as you can see right there. I'll put a thermal pad also on the bottom, just to protect it from any heat issues there may be. It's just me. You don't have to do that. Flip this over. The reason I'm trying to be careful because I do not want to shift the move too much because of the cables. Pay attention here. See the little black little stick? There's one here and one on the other side. So you need to make sure they get right in there. See, like you go inside here, and then on the opposite side the same thing. Let's try that one. I will put the information of my toolkits if I want to order it. This is the one that I have, especially because it comes with this. The other one, this one is one from Lenovo. You can see right here. It says Legion on it, right there. Oops, right there. This one has a USB-C connector, so you can charge it. Okay, now we can plug the battery. Good, we got everything there. Now we can put all these pieces back together. You see when I'm doing this, I'm not gonna put all the screws back in. I wanna make sure the drive works. If everything works, then we are good to go. And then the last at the end, when we're done with everything, meaning after we format the drive, we have both operation system in the drive, then I come in and finalize and screws everything, because you're gonna need to take this off and do it again. So I just press the button. The initialization to start this again is gonna take a minute. So we gonna jump to the next step. Okay, this next step, what I did, I just connected my Legion Go 2 on the dock. So it's this way I'm gonna be using a keyboard and mouse. I do recommend for you guys to have one if you can. And if you can't, you can just be able to touch the screen, but it's really recommend to have a mouse and keyboard in a dock if possible. It will make your life easier. So just make sure, I'm gonna go ahead and connect this over, bit over here. There we go. Just make sure to press the volume up button and then press the power button once, just once. Do not let go of the power button until you get the white screen. The dock is connected to my capture card. So this way, the next steps, you'll be able to see it nicely on the screen when it comes up. But when it's here, what you need to do, you basically tap on the boot menu. All right. Okay, we're here. What we need to do is pick the one that says USB. Okay, and now it's loading up everything. All right, I'm gonna take over from the screen. Okay, before we go any further, right here, what you want me to do is choose how I want to look at it on the screen. If you are connecting to a monitor, you're not gonna see this. But if you are connected to a monitor, I'll recommend to pick this one. So this way you don't, because this is an OLED, you don't want to burn this out. So for now, just disable this part of it and just select this one. What this means, as it says, only the external screen. So it will shut this one off, and that one is going to be the one. So select that. You see how it's black? Now it's going to be over here. All right, let's continue from this point.
All right, guys, now that we are here in this screen, what we're gonna do, we are gonna basically select install Bazzite. Another window is gonna open here in just a second. All right, on this window, this is gonna be straightforward. Just select your language. It's pretty much, it's gonna kind of identify where you are. If you're connected straight to the internet, like me right here, is connected to the Ethernet cable, so already know exactly what I am. So United States, English, of course. Here you will basically pick you will select your time if you are selecting time and your location. That's fine. Okay, so this part is little easy and tricky at the same time. You could select this one and it will basically, if you're going to install it into an external hard drive, you could do that, or you can just wipe the entire disk. So my thing is I'm going to select this one because this one has already an operation system. You can kind of play with it. If you want two operation system in one, that's fine, but I'm going to use this one and you're going to see why in a minute. Let's go ahead and move over here. From this point, you basically, for me, this is for me because I want the entire drive. I could just take some of this stuff out and just make a space for the drive. As you can see, I have Windows and Linux here. This is actually SteamOS. But what I'm going to erase everything. So I'm going to hit this. It's going to get rid of everything. And I'm going to claim all the space. Now worry about this. Next. Here, you create a user and password. There you go. Let's go ahead and do that. Go to the next one. And right here, it's going to confirm everything you selected. So this is actually the format that you want. The Btrfs. This format will allow you to have all your entire space on your SteamOS version. Basically, we're using Bazzite Steam version, but it will allow you to have Steam, all your games to be loaded in Steam, and then when you go to Windows, the Windows will be able to see the games in one folder and be able to talk to each other back and forth. So you can download the game only once. You don't have to download it multiple times for Windows and Steam. So this way, Steam and Windows can see it all together. I'm trying to do this on SteamOS, but I was having some issue because it's not on the Steam Deck. I don't know why, but we are going to do this because of this automatically formatted for you automatically this way. SteamOS used a different format and it used this format, and it was a pain in the ass to convert from this to this on Steam, specifically on Valve. But we're going to do this route just for make it better. Yes, I understand, and install. So now we're going to let it do his thing. Okay, we got the secure boot being added to the system. This is something you're going to need to know because the best way to make this to be the best of both world, Windows and Steam, is having secure boot. Because if you jump to Windows, you want to be able to play those games that require anti-cheat, for example, like Call of Duty or Battlefield 6 or even Destiny, for example. They require you to have secure boot activated on your device. So this way you can have both. So unfortunately, SteamOS from Valve specifically does not use secure boot, so it make it hard to kind of do what we're doing now. But there is a workaround, but I don't want to deal with that. It's a headache right now. All right, so we are done. So let's go ahead and hit this. And we are going to basically reboot our system. Okay, restart.
All right, after you do your first reboot, this is what's gonna come up on the screen. And this is because of the secure boot. So we can go ahead and continue this way, but we want to enroll into this. So let's go ahead and enroll into this. And it's gonna ask you for password. And you're gonna say yes. And the password is gonna be universal blue. It's all gonna be lowercase. I'm gonna put the password here in the screen. Unfortunately, you're not gonna be able to see what you're typing, but let's go ahead and press that. Okay, and then we're just gonna type in and say reboot. Okay, as soon as you finish rebooting, we are gonna go back to the screen.
All right, so we are finally here on SteamOS. So we're gonna go to set up our system here. All right, so time for me to sign in into Steam. Whoop, whoop. We are getting in. OMG, we are in SteamOS. So welcome to SteamOS. All right, so look like everything is working here.
All right, so we are here. So it looked like everything is working. So if you're in Bazzite, these button right here, basically this one on top, you just double tap it and you get this. This is for your TDP. Come on. There we go. Let's just work with a. All right, so let's switch this. Look, it's working. So if I touch it, it kind of goes away. Okay, so we have this. You got the fan curve disable. We can manually set it up. We got RVGs. Let's do a spiral. I love the spiral. And have some of the stuff here. Let's see here. I prefer this. This is pressing Y. We'll take you to this and give you more customization. So far, everything looks good. The next step is going to be partitioning the drive to add Windows. And then after that, we're going to do the boot loading, dual boot load. So this way you can load up between Windows and Steam. Let's go ahead and do that now. And let's shut down Bazzite. From this point on, we're just going to go ahead and do the partition. And then we're going to, because I already have Windows, clone on the not clone, but it's on the original drive. I'm gonna clone this partition into the new partition we're gonna create for Windows specifically. I'm not gonna install it from scratch. I don't want to go through all that and resetting everything. So I'm gonna grab everything that's here and slap it on that partition we're gonna create for Windows. All right, so we're gonna jump and do that, and then we're gonna kind of tighten up the final touch on this.
All right. So we are back here like we did originally to install Bazzite. It's going to be the same process. You turn off your device, hold the volume button up, the plus one, just hold it, and then press the power button once. Wait until you get that white screen, as we did before, and then hit on the USB. And then just let it wait until you get to this screen. From here, what we're going to do, we're going to open this, and we're going to type in GPAR, and this is going to get you to this. Type on this, and it's going to get you to show you a partition. All right. So this is what we have here. And this is what we're going to need to do here. This is your technically like your home partition where all your stuff is going to be saved. And we're going to need to shrink this. I'm going to shrink it to at least a 1.5 gigs. So I can give this to Windows. We're going to use that for the Windows, what we're going to clone. All right, let's go ahead and do that. And here you're going to right click and you're going to do resize and move. All right, here we go. And from here, you're going to do this. You could do the little slider here. So you can kind of select how much you want to give it. All right, let's see how that looks. All right, so we have the 1.5 that we are looking for. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right, I can go. All right, guys. So one thing I'm gonna show you. I just changed the size. The good part is that this is changeable. That I forgot to mention. So whenever you go here to the, you just right click and you select resize or move. This you can do whatever you want. If you want to take all the space back, you can just slide it all the way to the end. You can take all the space and you can go as back as you want, as many times as you want. So we're gonna cancel that because I have what I want. I wanted to leave it at 6 terabyte for Bazzite anyway. So we're gonna leave it there. But again, if you ever need to change it or even add more, basically right click. And then again, you can kind of keep moving the slider as back or as forward as you want. As long as you don't have the unallocated space, you know, being used. If it's used to something else, then you're there, and you have to kind of play around. But anyway, let's go ahead and move on to the next part. All right, so as soon as you select your amount of space, you right click, do new, and we are gonna come here to File System, and what we want is this, NTFS. Click that, and we are gonna go ahead and add. And that's our partition right here. Apply all operations and apply. We're gonna wait for this to finish, and as soon as we're done, then we will go here and then basically shut down. All right, guys, so it looked like the system just finished processing everything, and this took forever. This is a long process. For the first part, it took an hour, 2 seconds here, and then another hour and some change. So we're looking at 2 hours and some change for some reason. All right, let's be done. And from here, everything looks perfect. We are just gonna go ahead and close this, and we are gonna shut down the system. All right, so we're here in Windows. I had to take the Bazzite SSD and put it here. I was gonna do Windows from here and then clone over there, but for some reason it did not want to run Windows from here. I've done it before, but for some reason this time it didn't. So I swapped the drive back out. So now everything is gonna be on Windows over here, and I'm gonna copy Windows to the partition that I created here in Bazzite. This is what the 8 terabytes is. All right, so let's go ahead and jump to that, and we're gonna jump back to the capture card right over there. All right, quick disclaimer. If you're using a dock, try to put your drive, if you're doing what I'm doing, on the bottom thing. So this way, the top one is not using all the data, because it's gonna bottleneck the information. So if you use this, it's gonna be a clear connection. I had to do this like a couple of times because it was bottlenecking the basically the highway in a way. So because of that, now this is moving really fast. But yeah, trying to use the bottom one when you do the cloning, if you're doing this route. All right, guys, now that we are on Windows desktop, so what we're gonna need to do is download a specific application. Not gonna be Micron Reflect. There's gonna be two versions. There is gonna be the latest one, and there is gonna be a free version. Free version is gonna be version 8. I'm gonna put the link for that one on the description below. And the second version is gonna be the 30-day trial. You could pay for it so you can have it, but I'm gonna put the both links. So when you go to the website, and again, I'm gonna be in the description below, you're gonna come in and hit the 30-day trial here. The only thing is you need to create an account. You need to register yourself. It's free. Don't worry about it. It's just for you to download it. But again, if you don't want to download this, you can also use the link for the free version that you don't need to do anything. Just basically click the link and just download it. But if you do register, as soon as you register, you're just gonna automatically download the file. So let's go to my download file here. Here we go. I'm gonna put this on the desktop. Close this here, and let's go ahead and install this. And it's just gonna go through the normal, normal prompts of installing. Just do next, let it do its thing. All right, when you get to the screen, make sure to leave the 30-day trial. Then you hit next. The next screen is gonna ask you for your email. Make sure to put your email that you register to download this file. Then click next. Make sure to check all these right here, and then just leave this one right here. All right, as soon as we are done, basically hit finish. Just the usual installation. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna plug our SSD into the system. As you can see, C is right there. And what we're gonna do is refresh. What we're gonna do is go to clone disk. And here you're gonna see it says this is gonna be the main source. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go here and select this. And if it's for some reason the other way around, just basically select this and you choose which one you want to be the main source. All right, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna grab this, because this is the space we're gonna use. Grab that, over there, as you can see here. Grab the next one and put in the same order you see it. Grab this, put it there, and grab that, put it here. If you move them to any of the different order, it may kind of break the system or break your drive. To avoid any issues, just put them in the same order they are there. We want to grab this drive here and probably move it here so they can, make it bigger. by 300 gigs, by 312 gigs. So we're gonna do that later. But for now, this is what we need to do. Put them in this order. All right, so let's do next. Next again. And this is how it's gonna be here. All right, and we're gonna do finish. And here, make sure to uncheck this and let it run. Okay, and as soon as it's done, we be back. All right, so the cloning is now finished. So it took at least about an hour. Like I said, I did this multiple times and I was having some issues because I was using the USB-C on the dock. So I end up using the USB-C on the bottom from the bottom part of the Legion. So this way, that port is not busy using like keyboards and other accessories. So it's just from the main SSD installed to the new one. So this way now we have both system in here. So now it's done. Close this here. So this is what it looks. All this right here, this 3-part right here, that is Bazzite. And this 4-part here is going to be Windows. So what I'm going to do is, I don't need this. This is actually Windows backup from Lenovo. I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm going to give that extra, basically 2 gigs additional to this 312 gigs all together for Windows. So we're going to get rid of this. So let's do something here. Okay, I'm going to go here for disk management. And you're going to see this right here. We don't need this, so we're going to try to get rid of this in just a minute here. Oh, I see what's going on here. Give me 1 second. So what we're going to do, we're going to install this other application. It's called Mini Tool software. I'm going to show you the website where you need to get it. And this one is, I'm going to use this to get rid of that partition. As you can see, I was not able to do it from there. I will be putting the link in the system on the description for this too. So this way you just click and go. So when you get to the website, you're pretty much going to need to go here for home and then partition of Wizard free. That's pretty much what you need to download. And then hit the download button here. So I already downloaded it. It's right here. So let's go ahead and install it real quick. Yes. And you're gonna continue with a free edition. This is gonna give it a 7-day trial, so you don't need this much. Don't click on this, just leave that because that's the one you want. This is some extra bull crap. And also don't participate. Get rid of that. Yes. Okay, now we are here. You can see everything here. So this is the partition that we don't need. So we're gonna right click, we're gonna delete. And we're gonna go ahead and apply. Okay, it's done. Go back to disk management. Now you can see, and let me see here, extend volume. And there we go. That's done. So this is part of Windows. This is part of Bazzite. So we are set. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and take this one out. I'm gonna take it out of the system and install this into the Legion Go, and then run, and then make sure that I can jump between both operation system. All right, we're gonna be right back.
All right, so we just put the 8 TB SSD in the system with Bazzite and Windows. So right now we're just waiting for everything to just load up. As you see, it's loading user data. What we're gonna do after this, we're gonna start working on dual booting. Because right now what we had to do to boot from one to the other one is gonna be holding, you gotta turn it off, then hold the volume plus up, and then press the power button like we've been doing all this time, and then select which operation system do you want to do. Do you want to do Windows or do you want to do Bazzite? So for now, let's let this do his thing, and then we be back. All right, so finally we are in Bazzite because it was going through the user loading data or loading user data. So finally it did everything I need to do. So I'm just basically making sure nothing is broken. Let's switch over to desktop. So far, so good. All right, so we are good here. Okay. And now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn it off and turn to load Windows, and then we're gonna come in to make sure we do the dual booting. But let's go ahead and turn this off. All right, so I'm on here, and you can see it shows Fedora. That's gonna be Bazzite, and then Windows Manager. So let's type that, see what happens. I'm just double checking everything to make sure everything looks good and everything is working fine as normal. Ooh. Yes. Okay, we are logging in. Let's see. So far, so good. So far, both operation system is running as the way I was expecting anyway. So good thing is because I cloned the drive into the new one, I don't have to do anything. And the last thing we're gonna end up doing, one of the other things we're gonna do is making sure that the SteamOS and Windows are reading, like for example, like No Rest for the Wicked. Install this game once, and both operation system will be able to read it. So this way, we don't have to download it twice if you want to. So right now I have it here on the Windows side, but I'm gonna transfer it to the right folder. So this way, Bazzite be able to read it. But I'm gonna need to download a driver. They're gonna allow this to happen. So this is why we are gonna double checking everything. Okay, go to desktop. So you only see this, but we're gonna make sure they opens another one. So far, so good. All right, let's go ahead and start the work.
All right, guys, now that we are in the desktop, what we want to do is pretty much try to have access to both drive. But when we want Windows to have access to the Linux side of all. So what we're going to do here, we are going to go to this website. I'm going to open here. I already have it up here. But what you need to type in is Windows Btrfs driver. Just scroll down just a little bit, and you're going to find this GitHub here. I will be putting the link on the screen right now. I also will put in the link on the description. Let's go ahead and click on this. And you're gonna kind of scroll down just a little and just go to this here. We said new version. A new version, you're gonna scroll down and you're just gonna download this one right here. I already downloaded, so go to your download folder. And you're gonna basically right click and extract all. When you extract it, it's gonna extract it to the same folder and it's gonna be right here. And from here, you're just gonna look for this one and right click and then install. And here we go. And then install here. All right, it's gonna require us to do a restart. So we're gonna go ahead and restart now. All right, guys, so after we did the Windows Btrfs driver installation, and if you hit on this PC, you will see now the folders. As you see, it's two. I know the bad side that when we were doing the installation earlier, it was going to be at least 6 TB or a little bigger, whichever it was. So what I did, I made it smaller. So I went back, I was having some issue for Windows not reading the games, the same thing. So I decided to create a separate drive. So I give it 5 TB here, one on each here. I mean, a little smaller than 1 TB for this one, but I give it 1 point something terabyte, you can see. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go here and open Steam. It's probably gonna jump on big picture mode, but we're gonna switch it over to regular Steam version. All right, so from here, we are gonna basically, oh, where are you? Ah, there you go. Here you go. Let's go to power and then exit big picture mode. And then we're gonna go to Steam settings. And then we are gonna go here to storage. From this point, we're gonna hit this drop down and hit add drive. And it's gonna see the drive that we have, 5.1 terabyte. So we're gonna click this. And and from here, let's switch this over to this drive. It's empty pretty much. So let's go ahead and take one of these games, something small, okay. And go ahead and move it to the new one. All right, now I finished. So let's go close it. All right, so let's do a quick look here. Let's go minimize this and let's go ahead and open this again and come here. There's the Steam library. There's the app, and the game's also going to be in comment. Double click and you see Hollow Knight. Perfect. All right. So this is also what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a quick run here. Hollow Knight. And we're just going to press play to see what happens. Finger crossed. I'm just messing around. All right. Look like he's running. All right. So it is running. Perfect. All right. So let's close this. All right, guys, there's a couple of more things that we need to do here on Windows to make sure everything runs properly. After we did that reboot, we know the drives are here. We can see it. I can completely make this disappear, but I'm not going to. I can just hide it. So this way we don't have to see it. If anything, I will make a video later on how to do that. But for now, we are going to make sure that this is completely 100% readable on the other system, because they're gonna see it, it's just not gonna grab it. So because we are writing stuff from Windows here, and Linux does not want to grab anything that Windows is doing. So we're gonna basically, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try to fix that. All right, let's close this here. And what we need to do is go to registry editor. So reg, just have this here, and then make sure to run as administrator. All right, so when you get here to the register editor, this is what you're gonna see. First thing we're gonna need to do is just click local machine. Then we're gonna come down to system. Then we're gonna come down here to current control. Then we're gonna click on control. You see the little arrows? Just click on those little arrows to make it easy. Then we're gonna basically hit on CI. Then we're gonna come down to policy. All right, from here, what we're gonna do, we're gonna create a new D word. This is gonna be called upgraded system. And now we're gonna modify it, and we're gonna change the 0 to a 1. And we're gonna press OK. And what we're gonna do is basically reboot back to Windows. We're gonna need to do a quick reboot, and then we're gonna continue for the rest on the rest. All right, now that we are back here, what we're gonna need to do is run the command prompt. There you go. So write CMD on the search, and then you're gonna get command prompt. Make sure you click run administrator as administrator. And what we're gonna do is type in who am I. I'm gonna put the thing here in the screen. All right. So you're gonna be getting this number here. So I'm gonna recommend to write it down, because we are gonna be using this. So what I did a text document real quick on the desktop with this, so this way I can copy and paste, so it can be easy for me to do this and quicker. So let's jump in here. All right, so we are gonna go back here and open Rich Edit. Again, remember, run as administrator. All right, I just reset everything here. We're gonna start here. We're gonna go again on local machine. Then we're gonna go to system. Then we are gonna look for current control set. Then we're gonna come down to services. Then we are gonna come down here to come down all the way down to the list until you find Btrfs. Okay, and then just go to mappings here. And over here, we're gonna create a new D word. All right, and we are gonna paste that ID number that we actually did earlier, that we copy and paste. All right, and then we are gonna need to modify it and give it a decimal value, which is 1000. We're gonna do this a couple of times too. Now we're gonna go to group mappings. Okay, then we're gonna do another one. And again, the same thing. Then we're gonna paste that again. And you can double tap this and do a decimal, 1000. And then here on the top, you're going to see this one. This one is kind of matching almost, just a little different. So what we're going to do, modify it, and you're going to do decimal. Let me close this, just double tap it real quick. You're going to do decimal, and you're going to do 1000 also. All right, so let's go ahead and minimize this just a little. Let's go to here, drive real quick. This is Bazzite. Let's look at the property real quick. And we are gonna click on Btrfs. And this is gonna be our Bazzite drive name. All right, so if we go back here and we tap here, you're gonna see that right here. They are pretty much matching, right? Yep, that definitely the lucky match. So we're gonna tap that. Here we're gonna do another one, and this is gonna be a D word, and we're gonna write the word ignore. Okay, and this one we are gonna basically change it to 1. All right. All right, from this point, to make sure everything works, we are gonna do another reboot. So for everything to take over, taking effects on it, let's do a quick reboot here. All right, now that we are back on the desktop, I know I said that I was gonna do the hiding the Bazzite drive in another video, but I was already there, so might as well just do it. So let's tap on this PC, and now you have 2. The Bazzite now is gone. You saw earlier we had 3, one Bazzite and then this one. Now, as you can see, it's gone. All right. So now we gonna need to jump into Bazzite SteamOS and do some changes there. Okay, guys, one last thing. Just to make sure everything works out, click here and double click again. I already have some games downloaded, so we're gonna go to Steam and then Common. So what you need to do is real quick, just right click on one of those folders, whichever, and do Property. And then on Property, you need to go here to Btrfs Property and make sure the user and group are 1000. If it says other than 1000, something is off. So just go back and make sure they all say 1000 and the decimals. Okay. That's just one thing I needed to make sure, so you guys can make sure this is clear. And this is gonna be, that is gonna happen to all the games. So let's see that one. It says at 1000. So that's the way. That's what you need to make sure. Make sure if you already installed some games to make sure it works, delete them and then re-download them so they can all get that decimal number of 1000 for on there. All right, let's go ahead to the next part. All right, guys, so now we are on the desktop, and the first thing I want to do is install Decky Loader. So what we're gonna do is open your browser. So it's gonna be Firefox. I already have the website already open here, and you just need to type decky.xyz. So as soon as you're here, just hit the download button, and then as soon as we download, just hit the little folder here in the corner. Wait for this to open, and double click on this, and just basically launch. Say okay. And if you get this error, there's a couple of things that we could do to fix it, or basically force Decky. Let's go and open the terminal. Let's close this here. And terminal is gonna be right here. And Bazzite, they kind of set it up here for you. Just click on terminal. And what we're gonna do, we are gonna type in use then space setup hyphen Decky. I'm gonna put everything on the screen here. So from here, you just basically click OK, and you're going to choose what you're going to install. Okay, and this should be done install. So it said Decky is installed. So now we are done. All right, now that we're in the desktop, we're going to go ahead and open terminal. And we are going to type this in. And it's going to ask you for your password. That is done there. All right, so in this step here that I'm doing, for some reason I don't have the partition manager in the system, so I'm installing. So I'm gonna put the code in the system here in the screen. So this way you can basically install it if for some reason you don't have the KDE partition manager. So this way you can install it. Let's go ahead and finish this and then we're gonna go for the next part. All right, so we're gonna look for KDE partition manager. Finally, we got it installed. Just put your password. All right. If KDE is missing, it's because Bazzite feels like it's unnecessary to have it, so they try to basically take it out on purpose. So that's why I put that code in the system, so this way you guys can be able to install it if it's missing for some reason. All right, but let's continue here. All right, so this is the partition that we're working. We're gonna right click here and we're gonna hit edit mount point. And we're gonna jump here. All right, so here we're gonna go ahead and, that path that we kind of typed in earlier, that's what we're gonna use. So we var, then M.2 mount games. All right, so here we're gonna go ahead and unclick this and we're gonna go more. All right, so there is something we need to put here. Let me go ahead and try to get it here. All right, guys, make sure to take a screenshot of this. This is what you need to put in here and then click OK. All right, guys, this is me in the future. After almost finishing editing, it's one thing that I did messed up on the video, as I mentioned on the text, that I kind of mistyped some of the information. So I have to later on re-edit some of the texting. Not only did I mess up some of the wording, it's just I needed to add additional code because for some reason the code was breaking. So but the thing is, the code is for the drive to auto mount into the system. So what it was doing, it was kind of crashing SteamOS. So what you need to do when you come here in the system, when you're in that part of the video, what you need to do is go to disk and then click on your hard drive. And as soon as you click on your hard drive, you select this section here and you're going to see this little box. Click on this box and then hit edit mount option. So when you come here, you can see we created the mount point as games, right? This is what we needed to put in the system. Again, I'm going to put this in the screen so you guys can see it and type it exactly as you see it. Exactly as you see it. What I end up messing up on the video is right here, I had a letter S instead of the letter A because the A and S is so next to each other, kind of messed up, and I was tired, so I didn't catch it. But I noticed the system was crashing. I'm like, what the heck was going on? And I came here, and then this is where I noticed the error. So as soon as you put this correctly as it is here, then nothing is gonna crash. Every code after that you need to do is gonna work. There's a part that I did mention. Oh, you will have to mount the drive. You don't have to worry about that because the code is for auto mounting. It's going to auto mount the drive for you. So I'm going to basically leave that there, but I'm also going to add this afterwards as a disclaimer. All right. I hope this helped. All right. And then we're going to click OK. It's going to give you a warning. You're just going to say save. And that is done there, but we almost done. A couple more things here. All right, so what we're gonna do, I'm gonna close this and we're gonna close this. Okay, we're gonna open terminal. We are gonna run a command to see everything is good. And I'm gonna put the command here on the screen and then you press enter after you type everything in. Or, and again, it's gonna be on the description below. You can copy and paste it. All right, so we don't get no messages or anything. This means this is good. So one thing that I need to mention is when we do everything here, just make sure you right click here and you're gonna have the words and mount. So right now I said on mount, just said mount. So you can mount it manually and then run this code here to make sure everything is fine. And so far everything looks good. So what we're gonna do here real quick after we did this, we are gonna open this and we are gonna highlight this. We're gonna right click to see we can create a file, but right now it's grayed out. So we have access to it, but we cannot create a folder or anything. So let's kind of try to see if we can fix that. All right, so what we're gonna do is gonna go to the terminal again, and just gonna put this coding in the system and in the screen, and just basically write this. After you type everything in, just make sure you click enter, and then it should give you should ask you for your password. Let's see what happens. Okay. All right, so far so good. Let's take a look here. There we go. Now we can do this. Okay, so that is working now. All right, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna come down to Steam and we are gonna go to settings. Okay, now Steam is open. We're gonna go to storage real quick here and we're gonna try to add the drive. There we go. We see it here. Click add. We're gonna hit this again, highlight it, and on this little three dots, we are gonna hit make to default. So this way, oh, and look, that's the game that we added on Windows. So this way, now you should be able to play your games from Steam and from Windows in the same file. Okay, so that should do it for now. All right, so I came here to SteamOS just to make sure, basically just to make sure it pops up here when I load up to SteamOS here. So far, so good. So I have this one, have that one, and you can see that's the Btrfs game that we uploaded from Windows, and he is looking good. So one last thing. So for most people who I wanted to do a specific set of Voodoo that is not working. So I'm going to do a different load up. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna set up basically Windows to be like an application. I'm sorry, you're gonna see some kind of screen glitches here. For some reason, it only happens when I'm here on this side of the system, SteamOS. So, but we're gonna do a Windows version. They're gonna look like this, and when you click on it, you're gonna hit play, and it's gonna load you up to Windows. So if you need to go to Windows while you're while you're here in SteamOS, by just clicking play, it will basically load up Windows for you and just take you straight there. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, so we're gonna jump back into here to the desktop, and we're gonna continue from there. All right, so now that we are here on the desktop, we're gonna open terminal again. We actually been living in terminal all day long today, but let's go ahead and open it. And what we're going to do is just write down EFI BOOTMGR. All right. And this is going to allow us to pretty much look for the boot that we want to do. And what we are looking for is Windows Boot Manager. As you can see, is here. This is what we're looking for. If you want to write it down, take a quick screenshot of it, do that. All right, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna write quick script here, and it's gonna be, I'm gonna put the coding you need to write down, but it's nano boot-windows.sh. All right, now we're gonna press enter. All right, so the code that we're gonna put here, because this is gonna be the command that we are gonna tell Steam to tell the computer to do. We're gonna do sudo EFI boot MGR. Okay, then we're going to do a space -n. And for us, Windows was naturally number 3. So we are going to do 3. Oh, my number lock was not on. There we go, 3. And then we're going to do reboot. Okay, here we're going to do is press Control X, and then we're going to press Y, and then we're going to press enter to save the script. All right, so now we are going to need to make the script executable. So I'm going to put the code that you need to write down. So that's going to be chmod plus x boot windows .sh. All right, so now that we're done with this part, let's go ahead and press enter. Now we're done here with this part. So if we run this command from the game mode, basically, it's going to ask for the password. So we're going to have an issue doing that. So we want to skip that option, right? So let's look for where the script is safe, and then we're going to do the overwrite here. Okay, as you can see here, it tells us exactly where it is. It's the usr /bin / the fe boot mgr. So let's go ahead and work this in. All right, so this next part is going to be basically making the system to not ask or basically bypass the password. All right, so let's do this. Okay, I'm going to ask you for a password. And right here, this is what we're going to write. So I'm going to put the code here in the system. Okay, so right here, this is what's going to be probably different. For some people, we may be sbin, and for me, which is bin. And for you, maybe either the same, either sbin or bin. So that's what you type. So this is the address that we kind of asked the system earlier to tell us where is the code or the password, the system boot up going to be at. So that's what we type in here. And as you can see, we put no password. Okay, we're going to save the script. That's going to be Control X, then Y, and we're going to press enter. All right, so the next step from here, what we're going to do, we're going to open Steam. And we're going to do add game. I'm going to do non-Steam game here. Okay, we're going to do browse. And here is our script. Okay, for here, we're going to do then open and add selected program. And if you go to library, it should be right there. All right, so I'm going to press it so we can test it out and see what happens. Okay, now it's rebooting. All right, so it rebooted straight to Windows. That was pretty much it. What we're gonna do, we're gonna make this a little prettier. Earlier we install Decky Loader. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna install an application on Decky Loader. It's gonna call Steam Grid DB, and we're gonna be able to add a game file to it. Not a game file, meaning game pictures. So this way, that's Windows going to have Windows 11 or whatever, or whichever version of Windows you have. And this way you can know what it is instead of you guessing. And you can change the name, and when you get to Steam, just call it Windows 11 if you want. But let's go ahead and reboot the system. All right, so now we are here. What we're going to do is go to this side, and you're going to press this little thing here. And we're going to go to the store. And we're going to write Steam Grid. There we go. This is what we want. We want to store this. Okay. So from here, we can pretty much basically change the wallpapers or the artwork for our games. So On your controller or on your Steam Deck, just basically hit the select button and you get this window. Oops. And then change artwork. Oh, let's see what's going on. Give me a second here. Let's click this. And let's go ahead and rename this property. All right. We don't need this name. All right. This is what we're going to call it. Windows 11. Okay. We're going to try that again. And there we go. So pretty much from here, you see which artwork do you want. Take that. Let's apply. Then go to the second one. And take that. It's applied already, but just clicking on it, you can see it's applied. Take this one. Now let's do that one. They'll look the same. And let's go to an icon. Just go to the white one here. Later. And go to management. And here you can kind of see all the selections you did. All right. So let's go home. And there we go. As you can see, you see how everything has artwork. So click on this. It's looking legit. Also, from Decky Loader, I'm gonna recommend a couple of more things to download if you want. Let's go here. I'm gonna recommend to download this. What this does is pretty much is gonna give you basically a picture of if a game is compatible with SteamOS. Like you can see the grades right here. It said platinum. It could be gold. It could be silver. You can kind of see if a game is good to be played or it's playable on SteamOS. So I would recommend to get that. I recommend just go through this and just see what you like, what you don't like. The other one will be to changing the how the SteamOS looks. Okay, and this is the one that give you themes for your SteamOS. I recommend this one. This one you can make it look different. All right, so here are let me show you some of the plugins already plugged in, like the one that I should show you earlier. As you can see here on top, it give you the information about this game. It says gold. Let's get more information about it. And this is what it means. It stands for here. So 6 song, platinum. Give me information, compatible, Steam Deck, SteamOS. Oh, this one is already built in here, but this one, instead of hitting all this, it kind of give you a better quick view of what you need to do instead of looking for some other information through here. So this is why I like this. The other one, let's go look for here, themes. So this is some of the stuff you can do. This is one of the things that I like here the most. So let's go install this one. Enhanced library, whatever this thing. Oh, Nintendo Switch. Oh, so see your library tab, you can make them look different. Okay, so if you have Switch games, you can make each game look like a cartridge. That's kind of cool. As you can see, you can kind of get an idea. Let's go ahead and install the one that we just downloaded. This one. See, the colors is different. You guys little different highlights, but that's not the only thing that we wanted from it. All right, so look at some of the stuff, some of the themes that you can kind of go by. So just play around with this. I'll probably download this right here. I like this design for the menu. So anyway, this is everything that I can share right now. And I have other things that I'm working on that I will be sharing soon enough, as soon as I get them running. All right, if you guys like this video, Please leave a like and a follow, and I'll see you in the next time.